together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
Are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today we get some fun action because we get some afternoon action here, Tim. We can get our day started with some 1 o'clock football, or for the people north of the border, happy Thanksgiving. They have some CFL football at 1 o'clock as well. I did not get involved in that game. I'm probably not betting the CFL until the playoffs start. So that's probably the way I'm approaching that. Because I think basically all the spots are kind of locked up at this point, or like there's one or two teams that are jockeying for position and things along those lines. But so we got hockey. We have a 6-game slate in hockey tonight. That should be fun. We have an NFL game. We get 2 games in Major League Baseball. And Tim, I was looking at it. We have an opportunity tonight for a 5-leg New York parlay for those interested, with the Giants, with the Jets, the Mets and the Yankees, and the Islanders and the Rangers all going tonight. I don't remember the last time we've had 5 New York teams go on one day. Yeah, especially considering I don't think we would ever be able to get. Maybe we might be able to get it if the Mets and the Yankees play in the World Series. The complete equinox of Mets, Yankees, Giants, Jets, Islanders, Rangers, and Nets. Knicks playing on the same day with that equinox later in the year, where we'll have. I don't know though. So we have 5 New York teams playing in one day, Tim. So that should be fun. But I guess we have to recap yesterday. I don't think it could have gone any worse. I was down 9 units yesterday. Anything that could go wrong did go wrong. It was fun having a bunch of unders in the NFL and watching basically every game go over the total. And so many favorites cashed yesterday. So the public ate yesterday. Public dominated yesterday. Jaguars, loser. Patriots, loser. Patriots under, loser. Philadelphia and Cleveland under, winner. But Commanders team total under, loser. Full game under, loser. Tampa Bay won and covered. So that was nice. Raiders +3, loser. The under 36.5, loser. Denver, LA under, loser. Dallas, Detroit under, loser. Giants +4, loser. Went 2-10 in the NFL yesterday and absolutely tanked my record. So that'll be a challenge to climb out of that hole. I got to do it. So it happens. A terrible day yesterday. Baseball 0-1 at the Mets. Today is a huge game for the Mets. You can't go down 2-0 in this series. And I'm looking at a play in that game that just the books aren't offering at the moment. So hopefully when we get around to that game, the books are offering it, because I do have a play in that game in mind. And then hockey went 1-1 for me yesterday. I took the Jets -1. They won in overtime, so that was a push. And then I took a shot on 2 large dogs. I cashed the +225 with the Calgary Flames, but I lost the +250 with the Ducks. So 1-1 up 1.25 units in hockey. Hockey was the only thing that was decent yesterday. Everything else sucked. So hopefully today's a better day.
Yeah, no, I completely forgot to bet hockey yesterday, and I guess that's fine the way everything kind of worked out. I went, I think 3-7, 3-7-1 or something like that. Waiting for my CapperTek to actually load up. That would be nice. I know I started off with the Ravens minus I got 7 on it, so that ended up being a push. I know I had the Cardinals plus the points, which was never the case. Browns could have had a shot to win that game outright. The Philadelphia Eagles do not look as good as they do, but Browns +9.5 was a winner. Colts money line was a winner. And then a bunch of losers from there. The under in the Saints game was never close. I sprinkled a little bit on the Browns money line. Broncos, Raiders, Panthers, Cowboys, Mets, all bad. I got the over though in that Cowboy game, so at least that makes up for a little bit of it. Ends up being a shit day for me as well. Ready to try to roll into today and have a little bit of a better day.
Fair. Head over to the chat and then we'll get into some hockey.
Hello, my friends. Come to say hi. Yeah, I wasn't yesterday. Fun? No, not at all. Brother, I think the Jets pull the tiny upset tonight.
I agree.
I'm on the Bills. I'm pulling a 4-4-6. Either I win.
Be careful. He's going to call you a copycat now. Because apparently his ideas are all unique all the time.
But I bet the Bills. So I either win with the Bills bet or I win with my Jets win. So there you go. Jets would ruin that 5-team NY parlay.
Wow, picking one of the bigger underdogs to ruin the parlay. Yeah, no shit.
Hit yesterday. Flames, Jets, and Stars parlay.
Nice.
New York fans got to see what a real MVP is up close. Yeah, they got to watch him play on the iPad too. Let 3-leg parlay. Bengals money line. Nice. Chase Brown over rushing yards on the last Bengals play. T. Higgins over yards. There you go. I like the Mets. I like the Mets again today. When you have by the way, I saw there was 5 other times in the postseason where teams won at least 9-0 or better with a shutout. All 5 of those teams end up losing the series. So glad they got it out of the way now. And we go from there. Stars, Flames. There you go. Isn't it crazy how everyone said Dodgers have no pitching and now it's 33 scoreless innings?
And now
that's all we've been hearing today. That's all you're hearing all over Twitter. So they've got to go what? It's got to go to 42 innings right today, no doubt.
Yeah,
I was on the Mets loss yesterday. Yes, us too. But we're not starting with the baseball. We'll start with some hockey.
More importantly, we'll start with some daytime hockey. We get some daytime hockey here. 3 games start at 1:00, and we're going to start our day off with the Ottawa Senators taking on the LA Kings. We have the Senators -120 favorites, total of 6 in this game. Line opened up at a -120 for the Sens. It's now -117. So we have a 3-cent line movement here towards the Ottawa Senators. Line opened up at a 6 at -101. It's still a 6 at -101. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here, where we have 74% of tickets and 74% of the cash on the over. The line's not moving at all. We have 42% of tickets and 59% of the cash on the Kings. So line moving towards the Kings and the sharp money coming in on them here. And you know me, I'm not with hockey is one of the only sports I don't care about sharp money and things along those lines. The Kings have looked decent to start the year. Granted, they've played Buffalo and then they played Boston, which Boston, we don't know how good Boston truly is this year yet. I think today could be a big test for them, playing the Panthers again, which I do have a play I kind of like in that game, which we'll get into. On the other side, Ottawa, they started off with a nice win, a 3-1 win over the Florida Panthers. And then but that was the Panthers coming in off of that Boston win, the banner raising night type of thing along those lines. And then they lose to the Canadiens 4-1. So they're coming in off of that loss there. The Kings have won 3 in a row and 6 of the last 7 against the Ottawa Senators here. And as low as I am on the Kings this year, they're still going to win hockey games. Like I have them under 97.5 points, and I have them to miss the playoffs. But at this number, I'm only looking Kings in this spot, and I kind of want to move on LA in this game. The numbers are telling me that they're live to win this game. Granted, I know people can be like, this is a what? It's a 1:00 game, so it'll be a 10 a.m. West Coast time start. I don't think that matters for the Kings. You know why? They were just in Boston and Buffalo, so it's not like they haven't been on the East Coast.
I don't know why you would even bring that up.
I know some people would, and I was just debunking that argument. I'm going to move on the Kings here. They're even money. I'm going to go with LA here in this spot. I do lean towards the under a little bit in this game as well. I do see this potentially as a lower scoring game. I think Olmark is decent for the Sens in net. Kings do worry me with what they could do. I do think if the Kings win this game, it's probably a lower scoring one as well. So I'm going to be on the Kings here at even money.
I'm going to take the opposite angle. I took the Senators, and I took them on the puck line at plus 213. I think that early in the season, Ottawa is going to be a little bit scrappy. I really like Ullmark, although I know he's coming off of a bad game against Montreal. I was on Montreal in that game, so I kind of saw that one coming. He had a really good game against, at the time, a healthy Florida team. So I look at that. He had a good game there. I think you look at Ottawa from last year. I think one of the big things they were missing was goaltending.
Yes.
They're not missing that this year. Omar's going to be a really solid goalie. I think it's like a 3-1 type of game for Ottawa. I took Ottawa on the puck line here at plus 213.
If you like Ottawa in the under, and I know you don't really do team totals, but I'm assuming you would like the Kings. You would like the Kings team total under?
Probably yes.
Sure.
You also I can look at the Kings and say, well, they scored 1 goal against Boston, and they scored in the second period.
Yeah,
and they didn't really do much else, and they scored nothing against Buffalo through the first 2 periods. And that was against Ukko-Pekka and Swayman. I think Ullmark's better than both of them. You
can get the Kings team total under 2.5 plus 120. I mean,
I don't hate it.
If that's but no, I lean under. And unfortunately, Ottawa Senators team total under is 3.5 at minus 175. So I can't really move on that too much. So yeah,
fair enough. Let you go to the chat with hockey stuff.
Yeah, no problem. If Timmy copies 446, that's smart. I think it's stupid, but that's beyond the point. I'm stuck between the under in this game or the Kings. I'm on the Kings, and I kind of want to add the under too. The under 6 at minus 115. I do think both could there. Okay, I'll give you my hockey pick since I'm here. Under 6 on a lazy. Nick copied my under. No, I did not. No, I did not. I bet the Kings. So you can. Kings money line. Sens are always scrappy. When I see LA Kings under always pops up in my head. And that's fair. And I'm assuming you're probably thinking back to the Jonathan Quick days, things along those lines. So we'll keep on moving here. Oh, I forgot to switch the background. Whoops. There we go. This was a game that I'm very, very interested in. And this line's kind of interesting as well. This line opened up 135. It's still 135. Line opened up 5.5 minus 110. It's now 5.5 minus 112. A 2-cent line movement towards the under here in this one. And one thing I do think with the Boston Bruins is they're going to struggle to score goals this year. Now, yes, they scored 4 against the Panthers and then 6 against Montreal. Montreal on the back-to-back there. So I'm gonna chalk that up to Montreal just didn't have their legs in that game. And we have 73% of tickets, 80% of cash on the over lines with 2 cents towards it at the 5.5 number. And then we have 75% of tickets, 71% of cash on the Bruins, and the line's not moved. And it tells me that the Panthers are a live dog in this game. The more, even though my initial thought was I kind of want Boston because they just played not too long ago, and the 6-4 score is flattering for the Boston Bruins in that game. They had 2 goals with 6 minutes left. It was 6-2. So that was a blowout loser there for the Bruins in that game. I want the under in this one. I want the under 5.5. I want unders in Bruins games more often, I think. Because this Bruins team, I see them as a team that's going to struggle to score goals this year, especially against better competition. And yes, I believe is this. Now I need to take a look here. I don't want an under if Bobrovsky is not in net. So that's one thing I do want is Swayman versus Bobrovsky. Because what did we see in that game when it was a 6-4 game between Florida and Boston? It was Korpisalo. And now one thing we're also taking away from the Florida Panthers here is Tkachuk. Tkachuk may be back in the lineup, but Barkov is not. Barkov is going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. I think this Panthers team might struggle with Barkov out. And we saw it the first game. They did not look good against the Buffalo Sabres. And now you're asking Sam Bennett to play top line center minutes. I mean, he's good, but now what that does is now you're asking Jesper Boquist to play third line minutes and Antoine Lindell to play second line minutes when they should be playing third and fourth line minutes, which I think is going to hurt the Panthers overall. I like this under. And especially if Matthew Tkachuk is still not playing as well, makes me like the under even more. I'm going to move on it. I'm going to take the under 5.5 in this game. I want to see if I can get 6. 6 is max 135, so pass on that. So
I just took the under in this one. I took Florida. It's more of a I know that these two teams just played in the beginning of the year, first game of the year, and Florida won in Boston. Sorry, at home. Now they head to Boston, but it's more of I'm playing off the fact that everybody sees that Florida's injured, and I want to kind of fade that. I am taking the Panthers. I think it's a really interesting spot in this one. Getting them at plus money is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm jumping on Florida in this one. It would either be Florida or be Boston puck line at big plus money, but I think it's more of I want to fade the injury report type of deal. I did bet the Panthers against the Sabres, which did not work out. But I think this could be a decent bounce back spot for them as well. Also keep in mind Boston's coming off of a 2-1 overtime win. So we'll see how that goes.
I expect more games like that from Boston than I do. And I cashed with the under in that Boston game in their last one there. And I think you're going to see me on a lot of Boston unders this year. I wasn't on the under in the first game, though, and I wasn't on the under against Montreal. But I will pick and choose my spots. But I think you're going to see the Bruins play a decent amount of unders this year.
Okay. Back to the channel.
Yep. When I see Florida, I always say hashtag stop fish fade. Well, they're cats, so they'll eat those fish. Panthers money line under 5.5. I like it. Bruins revenge spot. I would only look. I want to say I would only look Bruins in this game, but who knows? 2 of 3 Boston games have gone over. Play is over. Follow the trend. It's been 3 games, and I think there's and one of them, Korpisalo, is in net. The other one, it was Jeremy Swayman's first game. I think Swayman's going to get into a rhythm, and this team is going to be playing better defensively because they know that they're not going to be able to run and gun with most teams, especially the Florida Panthers. The Boston Bruins know if they're going to have a chance in this game, it's going to stay under. So I'm going to be on this under in this one. We'll move on to a team that I want to bet unders on, to a team that I would like to bet some overs on. The Utah Hockey Club taking on the New Jersey Devils. Line open up at a 175 down to a 152. Line open up at a 6.5 minus 108. It's now a 6.5 minus 117. So we do have a move towards this over in this game. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here. Yeah, 94% of tickets, 98% of the cash is on the over. The line's moving towards the over. 79% of tickets, 67% of the cash on the Devils. Line's moving towards the Utah Hockey Club. I've cashed all 4 bets I've made on Utah games. Nope, I lost the first one because I had Blackhawks money line. But since then, I'm 4-0 on Utah games. I had the Islanders team total over, full game over, and I had the Utah team total over, full game over against the Rangers. And I would like to go back to overs in this game here. We've seen Utah play nothing but overs in this game this season so far. And I think we ride Utah overs. It feels like probably a decent part of the season. Because Utah, they won 5-2 against the Blackhawks, 5-4 against the Islanders, 6-5 against the Rangers. They put up at least 5 goals in all 3 games. On the flip side, New Jersey's coming in off of a 5-3 win over the Washington Capitals, a team I do think is going to struggle this year. I do have their under win total there. And they lost to Toronto, a team that I don't think is going to be very good. They did beat Buffalo in both their games there. They've put up at least 3 goals in 3 of their 4 games, the New Jersey Devils. And I think this is a team where you're going to want to back overs with them. And, of course, as I'm trying to bet this game, this line is frozen. on me here. I'm going to, when this line unfreezes for me, I'm going to be taking the Utah Hockey Club team total over and the full game over.
I will just be taking Utah. I was wrong on this team, I will say. I said that they're going to be a little bit overvalued. They have not been. And I'm just gonna start rolling with them. They had because I bet against them all 3 games so far, and I have not had success doing so. So I'm going to start backing them instead and see how that works out for me. I'm on Utah at some plus money here. They've been plus money every single game so far. They're 3-0. Let's keep riding with them.
Yeah, I can see the Devils winning this game, though. And unfortunately, congratulations to the sportsbooks for keeping me off the team total over for Utah. It is 2.5 at -165. I don't lay that type of juice. Team totals are the only reason I would, but not at this number. And I get it. They probably should put up 3 goals, and I'm going to stick with the over 6.5 in this game. But I wanted that team total over, and unfortunately, they've made it too expensive for me. So it's going to be a pass on the team total, just the full game over.
Fair enough.
Let's go back to the chat. Let's see. Supness. Okay, well, 2 of the 3 fish games have gone over also. So there. Cool. Utah team total over. Utah money line. Logan Cooley over 0.5 point. Who is the hockey club? Fair. Yeah, you fixed it. Go, Yost.
Yeah, I fixed it. You're welcome.
Yeah. Bruins. There you go. How is New Jersey -160 fave versus an undefeated team? The line tells me everything. Everything. Give me the Devils. This line did open up at a 170, so there you go. First period over 1.5. There you go. Over 6.5. Utah over 3.5 at +160. Yeah, I wanted the 2.5. I was hoping the 2.5 would have been a reasonable number, which stupid me. It's a 6.5 and juice towards the over, so that was kind of stupid to think that line would have been reasonable. But yeah, I can definitely understand that. Unfortunately, the book I'm using does not offer that to me. So there's that. Move on, the New York Rangers and the Detroit Red Wings. The Rangers -210 now. Line opened up at a 185. So we do a move towards this Rangers team. Line opened up at a 6 at -115. It's now a 6 at -6.5 -102. A move towards the over here as well. Tells me that we should see some goals in this game. 82% of the tickets, 85% of the cash is on the over. Line's moving towards it. 94% of tickets, 91% of cash on the Rangers. This line, they are showing respect towards it. They've gone from 185 to 210. And this is a Rangers team that I'm high on this year. If I had to take a cup team, it would probably be the Rangers. I think that they have the upside for it. Detroit coming in off of a 3-0 shutout win against the Nashville Predators, which was a nice bounce back from that 6-3 ugly loss against Pittsburgh. The Rangers beat the Penguins 6-0 before they faced the Utah Hockey Club and lost in overtime. And I kind of leaned towards taking the big price tag with Utah. I'm happy I took what I took with that game still, because it was just a sweat-free bet. I didn't have to worry about an overtime game for it with those overs. And I think that the Rangers should bounce back in this game. I do. And maybe they bounce back in a team total over type of way, because they put Ville Husso, the Detroit Red Wings, on waivers. So that just shows how this goaltending situation is going for the Red Wings right now. So now, and I don't think anybody picked up Husso, and it's going to be Cam Talbot. I think I could see the Rangers absolutely lighting up Talbot today. And this game going over the total. And it's a lean towards the over 6.5 for me. And the Rangers team total over 3.5 to -125. I'd lean in that direction as well. I do think they bounce back. And I think the team total over is a better way to approach the Rangers rather than the puck line, personally. Even though the puck line is plus money, I can see the Red Wings contributing to the over here as well. So I lean towards overs in this game. I got to decide whether or not I want to pull the trigger on it, because I think I'm going to be on basically every game, and I don't feel the need to bet every single game. But I do like the last 2 games we'll talk about.
Yeah. As much as I was very close to taking the Rangers, I decided I'm not going to bet every single game today. I'll play on the last game we talked about. Other than that, I'm not really too interested in going after today's card. So I'm not gonna go deep into breaking down games that I'm not betting. This one's a pass for me.
Yeah, it's going to be a pass for me too. But I like the last two games. I've already moved on the next game we're going to be talking about, and if we look at who's playing, you'll know exactly why. Yeah. Rangers got embarrassed last game. Defense will tighten up for this game. I would go under plus Wings played some defense last game. Yes, they did. They did step up and play decent defense around Cam Talbot last game. But asking him to do it again, I don't know. Personally, I think this Rangers team puts up 4. So it's a pass for me still. I like the last 2 games better on the card. And taking a look at the matchup, you should know exactly where I'm going for this next one here. Let's get into it. The Montreal Canadiens. Oh yeah, you know me. Montreal Canadiens and the Pittsburgh Penguins. We have the Penguins minus 125 favorites in this game, total of 6 in this spot. Let's take a look at the line history in this game where it opened up at a 125. It's 123 now. So we have a 2-cent line movement towards Montreal. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 120. It's still there. It is a 6.5 over on Bovada at plus 102. So we have a plus money over there. 87% of tickets, 88% of the cash is on the over. Line not moving. And then we have 42% of the tickets and 54% of the cash is on Les Habitants. And the line's moving towards Les Habitants, and the line's moved 2 cents towards Les Habitants in this game here. And you've all heard my spiel on the Pittsburgh Penguins, and you know where I have them power ranked is probably towards the bottom of the league. I would probably have the Blackhawks below them. I would probably have the Blue Jackets below them, but I don't know how many other teams I would have below.
Sabres.
I would have the Sabres above the Penguins. I would. Because now, granted, they are getting Brian Rust back, so now they have a third guy who can play top 6 minutes. And that's kind of being nice to Malkin. But Beauvillier, Bunting, Raquel shouldn't be playing top 6 minutes. Drew O'Connor, Lars Eller, and Wrecker McGrody should be more of a 4th line than a 3rd line. Cody Glass, Noel Acciari, and Kevin Hayes. I'm not high on either of them. They're 2 arbitrages of contracts on the blue line with Carlson and Letang, who can't actually play defense. So I am on Les Habitants in this game here. I got it plus 105 with the Canadiens in this game. I also wanted to add, and I think that they've priced me off of this one too, very similar to Utah. Yeah, they did minus 170 for 2.5. That's ridiculous. I would lean towards the team total over for the Canadiens, but not at minus 170. But I do think they get 3 goals in this game. But I am on Montreal at plus 105. Fade the Birds until they win 2 in a row.
I made sure I got my Pittsburgh Penguins shirt so that I can pass on this game. If I'm being honest with you, Nick, looking at the line, it's Pittsburgh puck line or nothing for me. I'm not betting it. I'm not saying I'm betting it. But I kind of lean towards
I understand why the markets would have Pittsburgh as a favorite in this game, though. Like Montreal is supposed to be really bad this year, or they're still a rebuilding team. So
yeah, I'm gonna stay away from this game. I'll be on the last game though.
Fair. Canadiens money line. Rangers first to score and race to 3. There you go. Parlay Habs minus 1.5. Habs team total and Suzuki over 0.5 point. There you go. New York Rangers more aggressive offense. Yes, and that's why I think if I'm betting the Rangers stay, it's the team total over. So we'll see. I'm 2-0 on Penguins game parlay. There you go. If Detroit already had Lions win, they're not going to have the Red Wings win today. Fair. Over first period, Pitt and Montreal. You're feeling if you're feeling from 2.5, 2-1. There you go. When a total is 5.5 or 6.5, do you hockey pros ever think about buying half a goal? Sometimes depending on what I'm trying to bet and what the number is for it. I have got I'll take minus 125, minus 130 on team total or on totals if it means I can get an under 6 instead of an under 5.5. So like a 4-2 game, it's a push instead of a loss because those empty nets at the end of the game can really screw that those type of things. If it's a 6.5 juiced heavily towards the over and I want the under, I can get a 7 at -125. I'll take it, type of thing. So sometimes depends on the game, depends on the price, depends on the number I'm buying to. Because sometimes there are key numbers in hockey, I guess. And with 5.5, I sometimes would pay to 6. So we'll see. Dog over day, Mets and Guardians money lines and team total overs. I took unders. I took the under in the Yankee game. So we'll get into that. Okay, yeah. We'll move to the final game here, and it did not come to fruition in the second game the way I projected it to, which was continuing to bet Islanders team total overs and full game overs, because I think this team is going to be more of an over team this year. Now, the Isles team total over is about the peak that I'll pay for a team total in this game, so I might pull the trigger on it. Let's get into it. Line opened up as -165 for the Avalanche, down to a 157. Line opened up 6.5 -101. It's now 6.5 and -106. Taking a look at the cash flow in this game here, we have 80% of tickets and 69% of the cash. Nice is on the over. And then 86% of tickets, 81% of cash on the Avalanche, and the line's moving towards the Islanders in this game here. Both these teams are coming into this game with a combined 0 wins, which is completely mind-boggling. I saw a stat today, Tim, that the Buffalo Sabres have more wins than the Avalanche, Oilers, and Hurricanes combined.
And Islanders.
And you can throw the Islanders in there too, yes. But this is a do or die, or not a do or die game. These are feels like must-win games early in the year, because if you're the Avalanche, you can't start 0-3. You really can't.
You could totally start 0-3.
They've soared over the total in both games. They lost 8-4 to Vegas. They lost 6-4 to Columbus. Goaltending's a problem for them. And Georgiev's not looked good so far. The Islanders, they lost their first game 5-4 against Utah. They got shut out. They got goalied against Jake Ottinger in that last game, because they had 34 shots on goal. So it's not like the Islanders did nothing in that game to try to score goals. It's just Ottinger was Ottinger that game. And I kind of want to take a look what the advanced numbers say on that game, because I believe the Islanders put up 3 points. Yeah, they won the expected goal battle, 3.08 to 2.45. I think that positively regresses in this game here, and they get a Colorado team that defensively they've really struggled this year. And one thing we've noticed with the Islanders and the Avalanche over the last few years, even when it was a defensive-minded Islanders hockey team, they play high scoring games. 5-4 and 7-4 last year. 1-0 in 22, but then 5-4, 5-4, 5-3. So 5 of the last 6 matchups between these two teams have gone over the total in this game. And that's exactly where I'm going to go for this game here. And this is the peak that I pay for team totals, because the Islanders team total over 2.5 is -150. That is the most I'll pay for them. And then the full game over 6.5 at -110. I see goals in this game. And I think the Islanders are going to be more of an over team this year because of the roster that they're going to have on the ice this year. I think this is the best offensive Islanders team I've seen on paper in the last few years. So Islanders team total over 2.5, -150, little juicy. Yeah. And then the full game over 6.5 as well at -110.
I took the Avs. And I took them on the puck line here. This is just a Colorado team that's got to turn it around. A loss at Vegas, fine. A loss to Columbus is ugly.
Yeah, that was bad.
On the opposite side, you do have the Islanders coming off of an overtime loss versus Utah, who's currently undefeated, and they got goalied by Ottinger, who's one of the best goalies in hockey.
They played one of the tougher strength of schedules to start the year.
For sure, I'm not saying that. Now they get Colorado. I think this is a good spot for Colorado to get their first win of the year and take care of it by margin. I could easily see this one being 4-1, 4-2, like something in that range. And it won't be an easy puck line. It'll be an empty netter at the end for me. And that's what I see. So I'm taking the Avalanche on the puck line here, Nick.
Fair. just typing something in a group chat real quick, and then I'll get back to the chat here in just a second because somebody asked a question in one of the group chats, and I'm answering it really quick. They were asking for the splits on the football game tonight.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, I was telling him that everybody's on the Bills in that game. Let's get into it. Sens money line and draw. I am on what's Sens? I am on the Kings in that game. I'm on the Kings. Bruins minus 117. I love the price because now the Bruins are minus 140 range. So there you go. Pasternak point, Marchand point. I'm on the under in that game, so we'll see. Devils minus 1.5. Plus 150. Yeah, I could see it. Avs can't lose every game, and the Isles can't lose every game. So pick one of the teams to win. Draw. Give me the draw. Give me a little draw island, the Thailanders, and I think probably Colorado wins in overtime. If I had to take a guess, it would be Colorado in overtime by a 4-3 score. Rangers minus 1.5. Pens money line. Avs minus 1.5. I pass. I lean draw. Yeah. Lane Hudson assist. Cole Caulfield goal. There you go. Warren, what's good? Markel. Logan Cooley point. Gunther point. They've been awesome this year. Cam Talbot gets lit up tonight by the Rangers. I can see that. Nick doing a group chat while doing the show. Pay attention. Jeez. Alt. I don't care. Cool. Because I hope you guys are on the New York Jets with me tonight. I am on the New York Jets. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, I usually type on my phone when Tim's breaking down the games. I just didn't expect his breakdown to be so short. So it happens.
It's hockey. You expect me to talk a lot about it?
That's fair. That is fair. But we will get into some football, and my record's gonna be ugly now after yesterday. So, but I have moved on this football game here. We have the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. And as bad as the Jets have looked this year, Tim, this game is for first place in the AFC East. The Bills are 1-point favorites in this game with a total of 40.5 in this spot. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, where we have, I'm trying to get it up. There we go. Look ahead line 1.5, opening line 2.5, down to a 1 for Buffalo. So a decent move towards the Jets. Look ahead line 44, opening line 43, down to a 41. So we move towards the under here as well. We have 74% of tickets, 87% of the cash on the Bills money line, 90% of the tickets, 85% of the cash on the Bills spread. And the lines move towards the Jets in this game here. 73% of the tickets and 70% of the cash on the over. The line moving towards the under tells me that the under is probably worth a look here as well in this game too, because this lines continue to drop. We have the New York Jets coming in. Their game in London. Luckily, they've had the extra day to prepare. So I guess that's something. Coming back from the London game, it's stupid that teams coming back from London don't get buys. So there's that. They're coming off of back-to-back losses where 2 games they could have easily have won. Broncos, they lose 10-9 in that game where they just looked completely inept. And they almost came back against the Vikings. In that last game, they were down, I think 17-0, and then that game finished 23-17. So they fought back in that game, but just came up short. This Buffalo Bills team has been struggling a little bit as of late. Both these teams come in on 2-game losing streaks, and they're granted the Bills played in Baltimore and in Houston, so they played 2 road games against decent teams. And they lost both those there. And for me in this spot, I'm on the Jets in this game. I got the Jets last night at plus 110. They're now even money, so I've beat a nice little line movement there with New York. I'm on the Jets in this game. Also, one thing you got to keep in mind as well is one of my favorite angles in sports is the fired head coach angle. And they just fired Robert Saleh in this game, which after the London game, which, when you think about it, makes a lot of sense because the chemistry between Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers was terrible.
Yep.
I think Rodgers wanted him out. And now they bring in a new head coach. I have to take a deeper dive.
It's not a new head coach. It's the old offensive coordinator, I believe.
Fair enough. And I heard that he's going to be running more of a run-heavy offense, which I think is better for the Jets because this is a team that improved their offensive line in the offseason. And Aaron Rodgers is not somebody I want dropping back and throwing the ball 40 times anymore. He needs to be more of a game manager and be an average quarterback. And the Jets can be an elite team if he's an average quarterback because their defense is still one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think they can shut down this. They can shut down this Buffalo Bills offense because the Bills offense does not look good. And when you look at what the Jets have done defensively as of late, 17, 3, 10, and 23 the last 4 games after giving up 32 to the Niners on the road to start the year. So I am on the New York Jets at plus 110 for me in this game. And they're a contest play for me, which means they're probably a guaranteed loser. You
know what? If I lose the play, that means the Jets win. So I'm okay with that. I'm on the Bills today. And to be fair, another thing, Nick, I bet this before Saleh got fired. So I didn't cash out. It is what it is. And it doesn't matter to me. This Jets team has not looked good. And, whenever they get an opportunity to, they have a shot at getting first place, they're not going to win this game. I'm not going into this expecting the Jets to win. I'm gonna be on the Bills in this one, and it's a win-win for me either way. So, give me the Buffalo Bills. I can get their money line now, and it is going to go up on my CapperTek.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you
like minus 115.
Yeah, if you like the Bills at minus 2.5, you'll love them at minus 115.
Yep, there you go.
All right, back to the chat, and then we'll get into baseball.
Where did you leave off?
I left off there.
Focus on that. Focus on us, Nick.
I am.
Jets under and Allen over interceptions. Breece Hall over rush yards and receiving yards. It's windy and raining out here.
Yeah, I could see an under.
41-30 all-time table tennis record. Looking pretty good, yeah. Heard Josh Allen had multiple concussions in the same game last week. That is rough. Why didn't they take him out? Because the Bills are incompetent. The new look coaching staff said they're going to run the ball a lot. Now we know they can't run the ball for shit, so take that info as you wish. Fair enough.
I'm going to add a play to this game too.
Lazardo anytime touchdown, or Lazard, sorry. Yeah, he's been a safety blanket for Aaron Rodgers for sure, so I could see that. Sostigan interception. He's clowning. Everyone clowning over him holding. That was not a holding last week. The umps were awful. Hit Josh Allen hard tonight. Jets punish him. No, you don't have to injure him. That's not the way I want to win a game. Is there MLB today? Yes, there is. We'll talk about it in a minute. Bills crushing the Jets. I agree. Bills easy money. Tripping man. Let's get Bills. Should the Bills be -4 instead of -1? They were -3 to start the week, so that's why it's a little bit concerning. Jets are a clown show. TikTok jinx the Jets. I don't understand. They don't need to jinx the Jets. The Jets already suck. I don't know why you do that. Jets. Sauce is overrated. Never gets an interception, but nobody catches anything against him. So let's head to the MLB, Nick, where I actually can't do anything with the Mets game on CapperTek right now.
Yeah, the play I wanted for the Mets is and the Mets game is unavailable at the moment, so I will be probably moving on that later when I can. But let's get into it. New York Mets, Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers -140, total 8.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where we have this line opening up. If this will load, there we go. With the Dodgers as minus 137 favorites, it's moved all the way to minus 138, so a massive 1 cent line movement here towards the LA Dodgers. Line opened up in an 8 at plus 100, now an 8 or 8.5 at even money. It's now an 8.5 at plus 105. So we have a slight move towards the under here as well in this game. And I'm not surprised the line's moving towards the under. Let's get into it. 54% of tickets, 53% of the cash on the over. The line's moved 5 cents towards the under. 89% of tickets and 74% of cash on the Dodgers. And the line's moving towards the Mets. Or no, my bad. The line's moving a penny towards the Dodgers. So basically no line movement here in this game. And I know, and I've scrolled through Twitter, and I've seen everybody's thoughts on the LA Dodgers right now. And the only thing I keep hearing from them is they haven't given up in a run in 33 innings. They haven't given up in a run in 33 innings. Hey, Tim, did you know the Dodgers haven't given up a run in 33 straight innings? Like, that's all I've heard about the Dodgers the last, 10 hours? Is that they haven't given up a run in 33 straight innings. Cool. And I would like to take that narrative, and I would like to fade it. I like the New York Mets team total over in this game. Because the only thing that people remember about the LA Dodgers is they haven't given up a run in 33 straight innings. And I kind of like the over in this game as well. I like the full game over as well because I could see Manaea getting hit a little bit in this game. Like, this Dodger lineup is still pretty freaking good. And I see the Mets getting to the bullpen game for the Dodgers because it's Manaea and then it's Brazier. And I have a feeling, like, in Detroit, they had the pitching chaos. You didn't know what to expect and all that. I feel like the Mets can kind of prepare for a bullpen game for the Dodgers because you kind of know who you're going to see. You're going to see Brazier. You're going to see Knack. You're going to see Kopech. And you're definitely going to there was one other pitcher you're going to definitely see that they can approach for. And them not giving team totals in this game kind of tells me that they're kind of concerned that everybody's just going to slam the Mets under because the Dodgers haven't given up a run in 33 straight innings. So I would like to move when it's available on the Mets team total over, which I have a feeling is going to be 3.5. And I kind of like the full game over here as well at 8.5. I think that the Mets are going to put up 5-6 runs themselves tonight. I think that everybody's going to use that narrative and it's going to backfire tonight. And the Mets put up some runs. So I'm going to be on overs in this game. I'm going to move on the over 8.5 right now. And then I'm going to add the team total over for the Mets when Bovada eventually makes it available. And I think this is more of a book-wide thing because even looking on BetStamp, I couldn't find a Mets team total or a Dodgers team total anywhere. So they're not offering other than first fives, which first five Mets team total over is 1.5. So I kind of lean in that direction as well. But I'm going to be on the over 8.5 minus 105. And when it becomes available to me, I'm going to take the Mets team total over.
Do you know what the Dodgers haven't allowed a run in 33 straight innings?
Really? I have no idea. All of Twitter didn't tell me that.
Give me the Mets. I said yesterday that this goes back to New York 1-1. And guess what? You know what? Do you know what's the same thing as a 9-0 win?
A 1-0
or a 1-0 win. A 5-4 win. A 27-0 win. It doesn't matter. A loss is a loss. A win's a win. And at the end of the day, I think the Mets got the bad game out of the way because they haven't looked that bad all postseason. When was the last time the Mets looked that bad? Maybe the 6-0 loss to Milwaukee the last weekend of the year. The 12-2 loss against the Phillies. That Phillies clinched their playoff spot in. The Mets really haven't looked this bad in a long time. I don't see it happening again. And if there's a guy on the mound that I want to turn it all around, you know what? It's the Mets' best pitcher. Sean Manaea is the Mets' best pitcher. He was the second most profitable pitcher in baseball this year. He's a guy that that the Mets rely on, and the Mets win with him. Give me Sean Manaea here. Take care of business. Coming off of a big game against the Phillies where he allowed one earned run in 7 innings in a 7-2 win. Give me the Mets to even up the series. Head back to New York, tied 1-1.
Agreed.
Nimmo has a foot problem, may not play. He'll be fine. Budo and Peterson are out for this game. Correct?
Well, no duh. Peterson threw yesterday.
How could I forget? I'm so sorry. Happy Sean Manaea Day. I mean, the Mets win with him, so I understand why you would be happy with him. Fernando's still salty about his Brewers. Over 8.5. Dodgers bullpen game. Bring out the 97 guys. Mets get shut out again, plus 1,100. Dodgers team total over. I mean, what are you supposed to do versus the Dodgers lineup? Just nothing you could do. I mean, there is. Sean Manaea has been great all year. Mets had a few days off and were out partying in LA, not focused. They will lose again. I think they had their one flat game.
One day off?
Who, the Mets?
Yeah.
No, they had a couple days off.
Right.
He ain't ready for Ohtani. I'm tired of hearing about fucking Ohtani.
You know, before that game, he went like 2 for 20 after his first.
He was the only player that the MLB app was not showing his postseason out.
Yeah, it was weird when he was doing basically nothing other than the 1 home run.
Dodgers still favored without a starting pitcher.
Because they're in Dodger Stadium.
It's in LA. Why would they not be favored?
Yeah.
They're the number 1 team in the league. If they weren't favored, that would be a different story.
A huge red flag.
Lindor will flop again, plus 160 no hits. Nobody got anything yesterday. So.
The top 5 went 0 for 17. I don't see that happening again today.
Let's go to the second game, Nick.
Yeah, and I've doubled up on this game here. Let's get into it. The New York Yankees and the Cleveland Guardians. Yankees minus 155 favorites, total 7.5 in this game. And this game, if you want to see some really strong bullpens and some good pitching, I think this is the game right here. Line opened up at a 150. It's now a 157. Line opened up at an 8, immediately went down to a 7.5, 15 seconds after the line opened. And now it's down to and now it's 7.5 minus 118. So we've had an 18-cent line movement since it's dropped down to 7.5. Take a look at the cash flow in this game where we have 91% of tickets and 51% of the cash is on the Yankees. The line has moved towards the Yankees in this game. And then we have 71% of the tickets and 69% of the cash on the under. Nice. And it's done nothing but move towards the under in this game. We get Tanner. Nope, that's tomorrow. I was going to say Tanner Bybee. We get Alex Cobb and Carlos Rodon. And for me, the biggest question mark for me is Alex Cobb. I think he can give me 3 innings of 1-run baseball. And I think Rodon can go out there and pitch well. We saw what happened last game with Rodon where he went out there, he looked strong, and then he collapsed in the 4th inning. I don't see that happening again. I see him correcting from his mistakes there and being able to bounce back and pitch well. And I took the first 5 under 4 at minus 105. I took the full game under 7.5 minus 110. We get the Cleveland Guardians bullpen, which has been the best bullpen in baseball all year long. And the New York Yankees bullpen, which was the best bullpen in the divisional series out of any bullpens. They didn't give up a single run to the Kansas City Royals on their bullpen. And I think if this game gets through if this is 3-2 or 3-1 in the heading into like the 6th inning or whatever, I think this game is shut down after that, and the game finishes like 4-1 or 3-2, something along those lines. So I look for unders in this game. First 5 under 4. Full game under 7.5. If I had to bet a side, it'd be Yankees -1 personally, but not going to bet the side in this game. Just the totals, first 5 and full game unders.
I'm going to take this series the same way as I did the Mets. Cleveland heads back to Cleveland 1-1, and I'm going to take Cleveland both game 1 and game 2, expecting a split and expecting the up plus money. You got and you could see the same. You could see the same deal with the Yankees as we did with the Mets last night. A little bit of an extended break because they haven't played since the 10th, compared to Cleveland, who just played on the 12th. That kind of went right from that series, 1 day off, right into the next. And in the playoffs, riding the momentum is going to be huge. We've seen that. We saw that with the Dodgers last night. They were able to ride the momentum right to a big win. I think you possibly see the same thing here with Cleveland. I'm going to take the Guardians both games, expecting a split, hoping I'm hoping they win both, but I'm going to expect a split in New York. I'm taking them plus money in both games.
Fair. Yeah, I kind of think the Yankees win the series personally. So I don't.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be Yankees Dodgers. We all know that.
And I won't watch a single pitch of that World Series if it's Yankees Dodgers. There's better stuff to watch than that.
I can't believe they let us bet an over in a Little League field of 7.5. I know, right?
Easy money.
Yankees to win a series at minus 190 is a bargain.
Just parlay with the Dodgers. It's free money.
Booty would never, but I would never bet Rodon. Might play that 4-4-6. Can't trust the Yankees bullpen.
Why not? Wait. Why not? The Yankee bullpen gave up literally no runs against the Kansas City Royals in that series. Yankee bullpen looked like the best bullpen in the playoffs so far. I don't know why you can't trust them. I wanted the bullpens involved in this under.
Yeah, I was about to say, Smart take Cleveland. Cobb is a joke. He'll get pulled early. I mean, it's a bullpen game anyway for Cleveland. So,
yes.
New York parlay, every New York team. Don't lose faith in the Mets. I said it was going to go back to New York 1-1. So,
see, I already go back to the last one. I already threw $3 on that just for fun today. It was 20 plus 25.06. Rangers money line, Islanders money line, Jets money line, Yankees money line, Mets money line plus 25.06.
Interesting. That is all of the stuff for today, though. I'll go ahead and put my CapperTek in the chat. Maybe Nick might start putting up shorts again. We'll see. If you guys are interested in, if you guys can follow all the social media links in the description down below, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Check out the CapperTeks. We post all of our plays there. Follow us on the CapperTek, and you guys get a week's worth of plays for free. Let's see who becomes my 10th follower. So go ahead, check out that links down below. Yeah, okay. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, Bailey. Go Mets. That's going to do it for this one. We'll be back again tomorrow with another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Till then, peace out, guys, and go Mets.